Hello, hello, hello. I should be going live. It's in my Facebook group. You know, there's always like a little bit of a delay on Zoom to the group. So let me just make sure. And it says we are good. Let's dive in. I'm super excited to be coming here live with you as I do on most weeks. I try to do it every week, but let's be honest, sometimes I do miss. And bringing you exactly what you need to become a life coach with clients. I see so many life coaches going out there and getting certified, spending so much money in these schools and so much time. And then after they get that certification, they struggle to sign their clients. So I, Jen Joe, certified life coach, decided, you know what, there's a lot that's missing in these training programs. One, as I went through my program. And then the fact that so many of the people that I went through the program with weren't out there making money. And I was like, okay, we need to fix this. So once I cracked the code on how to make money as a life coach, I was like, okay, more people need help and they need a program that teaches them exactly what they need to be doing from the beginning, from their training program, right? How to learn how to coach and just learn that skill of being confident enough or develop that skill to go out there and be able to sign clients because there's a gap. That's where the gap is. And so in today's live, I want to show you a technique that I've developed that I've been using on myself um, to coach myself into taking action as a coach, right? In any direction that I want to move my life in, I can use this process and coach myself from where I am with all the mind drama, right? The fear of getting out there. And in the beginning, what it looked like telling people I was a coach or saying the price, right, of my offer or going live on Facebook, right? To now just being able to do these things with ease and now using the same strategy to coach myself into doing something even bigger, right? Right now, it's like milestones within my business that I'm trying to reach. So I want to share this process with you because I feel like this is something that's totally missing in programs that I see out there. It's missing from coaches that are out there trying to serve other people. It's the aspect of coaching yourself, knowing how to effectively coach yourself. I always tell my clients, you are your first best client, right? So the strategies that you're trying to use on other people, you need to make sure that you're using them on yourself. The same way that they can bring transformation for your clients, they can bring transformation to you. So I've developed this process of coaching myself and I want to share it with you. And it's kind of like me taking the best of what I liked from other people's processes and feeling like this is what I needed a little bit more of. This is what I didn't like. I let that go. And this is how I would modify it to work for me. So I hope you have your pen and paper ready because we are diving in and I want you to actually go through this process. So if you are watching this live, go ahead and shoot me an emoji so that I know that you're here. Go ahead and listen, right? If you want to just listen, but then go back and watch the replay and do the actual steps like watch, pause, do, watch, pause, do, watch, pause, do. Okay. And I'm going to be referring to my notes that are actually, let's see if you can actually see this. Let's see. Yep. This, my little wall of Post-it notes. This is my self-coaching process. It's written there, real fancy over here. Okay. So let's dive in. Okay, my self-coaching process. Before I can think of what I want to create, I have to get honest with myself about all the thoughts that are swirling in my brain. And this is for you too. I think so many times we want to feel really positive about, yeah, I can go out and do that. I can go take action. I'm going to do that. I'm committed to creating this. But you don't realize all the thoughts that are actually already taking up space in your brain as it relates to that thing. So, one of the things that I did learn from one of my mentors, Brooke Castillo, was a thought download. And I think it's super valuable just to get all your thoughts out on paper. So, in a thought download, I do it on one topic. So I will pick a topic and I will write whatever the topic is at the top of the page. And then I write all my thoughts that come up when I think of that. That could be your goal. That could be the action that you want to take, like telling someone I'm a life coach, and then all the things that come up. Making my first $1,000 or my first $5,000 or my first $10,000. Okay. putting all the thoughts down there, right? And just like a stream of consciousness, write them all down. Just get it all out of your brain, right? That's the first step. This is what we also do for clients in our coaching sessions, just like gaining awareness, helping them see where they are right now by letting them kind of talk through things, right? And then once all of that is out, this is something that I got from someone else, Byron Katie, and her questions, her 4 questions. I look at all those thoughts and I ask myself, is it true? Because a lot of my thoughts, and I'm sure a lot of your thoughts, are very negative and are very extreme. They go all the way left to the worst case situation, right? And I just have to get myself to neutral. That's the whole point of asking myself, is it true? Or I'll ask myself, what is true about this? Like just getting to the facts of it so that I remove a lot of the emotion that's attached to it. So on the right, like, so on one side, I have all the thoughts, and then on the other page, right next to it, so I can see it side by side, I go through each one of them and I write what is true, what's actually true in that situation, the facts of the situation. So I get to a more neutral place. So my brain kind of looks at it like, okay, objectively, this is what's really happening, right? Without all the drama and the emotions attached to it. That really works for me because it just helps me see where I'm adding a lot of the stress in that statement that I wrote down, right? In the thoughts that I have versus what's really happening in life. Once I get to neutral, right? So thought download, is it true? What's really true here? What are the facts, right? You can, whichever one of those questions helps you take that thought to the neutral state. And then I ask myself, what is it that I want to create? Like, what is the goal as it relates to this thing? What is that? And I will write it as a possibility statement. And I love this because I learned this from Elizabeth Salazar, a fellow coach within my mastermind programs. And I really love that it's like, okay, instead of like trying to take myself to the way, like all the way there, I'm like, it's possible. It's possible that I could, right? Whatever the goal is for you. For me, right now I have a desire to hit a certain milestone in my business, like a certain financial milestone. It's always easy to track money for me, or sometimes if I'm getting like too attached to the money, I'm like, I don't like that feeling because I'm all about serving my clients. I'm like, how many people do I want to serve? Right? Like, how many people do I want to bring in this month that I want to help? So it'll be like a certain number of clients. I'm like, it's possible for me to sign X number of clients, right? And I tell my clients to also think of like, how many clients do they want to sign this month? And go there. So then I'll just write it a few times. It's possible to sign this many clients. It's possible, whatever. Until I start feeling it in my body, the possibility of it really being true, right? And then I take it a step further and I ask myself, why is it true? Like, why is it possible? What facts or what information do I have, or what resources do I have at my disposal that make it possible for me to actually do this? Right. So one of the things that I wrote this month, when as it relates to the client goals, right, or the financial goals, is like where I am in the spectrum, how much I have made already, how much further I have to go, how long that typically takes me to make. And then it just got more real. Like, oh yeah, this is totally doable. I can totally do this. Like, yeah, all it takes is this many clients, or this many times of making an offer, and I could probably do that. Got very down to what do I know, right? Like, what do I have at my disposal? Why is it possible? Really getting into that place. Once I got the feeling of like it is possible, then I'm like, but why? Why is it really possible? And that really helped me like dig deeper into that feeling of, yeah, this is totally available to me. Um, and then I took my place to the thoughts when it's done. So once I have attained this thing that I'm after, the goal, the number of clients, the financial milestone that I want to hit, once it's done, what would I be thinking about myself then? What would I be thinking then? Right? And I'll read some of mine because they're right here. I did this process this morning. I was like, fuck yeah. This is how it's done. This is so freaking easy. Let's keep going, right? Like I would feel energized by helping all these people. And some of my new clients that I'm super excited to get started with, I'm like, yes, I totally see them achieving what they want to do. Like it's so easy for me to see them at that at finish line. So yes, I want to help more people. Um, I can do this again, right? Like once I sign one, two, three, four, five, I can keep on doing it. It's working. I'm right on track for my annual goals. Like, I'm just like, yeah, I would think all of these things once I actually have it. And that's also part of Elizabeth Salazar's process, which I really did like. And I took myself, okay, so if this is where I bring myself back to my process and how I've tweaked things. So once I get to the place of, okay, those are the thoughts that I would have at that point, from that perspective, when I'm that version of Jen, right? Jen that has achieved the goal, what am I doing or what am I not doing from that place? So if I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I got this, this is great, this is easy, what am I doing and what am I not doing? Like as it relates to the creation of this, right? So I thought, what am I not doing? Um, I'm not attached to hitting the milestone. I'm not attached to it has to happen in this way or within this time frame. I'm just like, I release my attachment to the goal and I'm all in service because that's when I feel most like me. That's what I teach my clients to get into. Like I'm all in the service mode and I'm not worried about checking this thing off my to-do list, right? Um, I'm not waiting to treat myself well, right? Like I'm not telling myself, well, I can't go and do this thing that I want to do because I should be sitting here working. I'm just like, yeah, no, it's done. I'm on track. Like things are good. Let me just go and enjoy myself. Right. So I would be going to maybe like my dance classes or something like that that I haven't been to in a minute. Um, what would I be doing? I would be connecting with more people. I wouldn't have this pressure of I have to go live because that's how I get clients. Because honestly, it's not. I go live because I want to serve. And I was like, yeah, I would just go live and I wouldn't overthink it. I wouldn't feel like I have to prepare so much, right? Like, and that's why I'm going live with you, teaching you this today because I was just like, this is so good. I just want to share, right? And that's what I would be doing in this place. I would just go out there and share my message with more people because I love it and I love to teach you and I love to support you. I would have fun with my marketing. I wouldn't make it the serious thing. And I would spend more time thinking about my current clients, not worrying about, growing my client load to a certain number or hitting like I would just be in service and thinking about them and helping them and reviewing my notes on their things so that I can show up even more powerfully and give them the transformations that I know that they can have. And when I am there, right, like I'm thinking about what I would do and what I'm not doing from the place of becoming Jen that already achieved the goal, this is the kicker. This is again my thing. What do you want to do today? What do you want to do today? And I ask myself to come up with three things, but you don't even need three things. Like, what is one thing you can do today to get you closer to creating this result, to get you closer to being that person? And for me, I'm like, if I'm already having fun and enjoying, like, I'm already like, oh gosh, it's done. I'm in that place of this is freaking easy and amazing. I wouldn't be spending so much time working. I would actually put into my calendar some of the things that I've been missing, which is my dance class. And I was like, I looked up immediately. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm shaking the thing. I looked up the dance classes that I like to take, and I'm like, oh, I would just sign up, right? And I'm gonna sign up today. I'm like, yeah, that's something that I would do. I would go and market to the people that I know are ready right now and be done with it. And I would go live on Facebook in my group that I love to support. And I would just go off the cuff and share something that I think is extremely valuable. Hence why we are here today talking about my self-coaching process, right? So from that place, it won. And I you don't even need three things. You could pick one thing to get you into action right now, right then and there. That's you can do immediately, right? Because it's getting me closer to becoming that person. And I feel like there's this gap where people want to just take action and think that you can just push yourself to do it. And that does work. It does work at times. Like you can get yourself and push yourself to do it, but it's not really sustainable. It's not really sustainable. And I see it with my clients, like they think they're just gonna say, yeah, I can do this and keep on pushing themselves, but then they get tired of doing that. And then I'm like, yeah, because you're not actually looking at the thoughts that are really running around in the background and you're just trying to push them to the side so that you can take the action. It doesn't feel good and it's not sustainable. So they stop after a little while, right? So then we actually have to look at those thoughts. And those people that are willing to look at those thoughts more freely, right, aren't resisting that the thoughts are there, willing to address them, like we do in this process that you can do on your own, they actually clean those thoughts up. They get to a better place, like naturally in their body, in their belief. And then from that place of like, yes, feeling good and energized towards the goal, they go and take action. Completely different, right? Completely different. And even some of the actions that you would take might be the same, but the energy that's driving them, completely different. The thoughts that's propelling you forward, completely different. So your results are going to be different. So if you didn't catch it the first time, I'm going to do a quick recap of the process. And I'm going to be looking over here because you saw it. That's where my post-its are, where I have my process that I've been doing and truly just gets me in the zone of wanting to take action, not having to will myself, but truly just from a place of, yeah, I want to do this. Yeah, I want to show up. I want to serve. And this is fun. I make it fun now, right? On my way towards the goal. So again, in your self-coaching is key for you to get into action. And the more that you do this process with yourself, the better you are able to support your clients through this process. These are questions you can ask your clients. Like, this is amazing stuff, y'all. Y'all need to be using it. Use it on yourself and then go ahead and use it on your clients. Okay. 1, brain dump. What are all the thoughts that are coming up as it relates to this one topic that you are thinking about? Sometimes we don't want to look at them, but you got to look at them. You got to clean them up. The longer you resist looking at these thoughts, the longer they will persist, right? So it's okay. You're not going to die. Sit there, look at them, see what they are, write them down on paper, not just running through your mind because they're already doing that. Write them down on paper. I suggest you pick one topic and then go all in with all the thoughts that come up. Ask yourself, what is true? What's the truth about this? Like, what are the facts here, right? The point of that process is to get to a neutral place on this topic, right? On the thoughts, what's actually true. So you can separate the fact from the emotions that are involved in there. Then when you think of like, what is it that you want to create as it relates to that topic, write possibility statements. It's possible for me to, it's possible to, right? Just like write it several times until you get to the feeling state, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 times if you need to, until you start feeling that shift in your body. And then ask yourself, go deeper into this feeling as to why is it possible? What do I already know? What do I already have, right? That makes this possible for me. Get to that place. Like you're, and it's not made up. It's you truly looking at past events, what you have access to, who you are as a person, things you've done in the before to find reasons why that's possible for you, right? And that just really cements that feeling within your body. Then take yourself to the place where it's done, when you have achieved that possibility statement, where it's already done, to the future self version of you. What are you thinking then? What are all those thoughts? Write about 10 thoughts that come up for you as you are this person living in the results, living in the place of having this result. Okay. And think about from that place, and if these are your thoughts, what are you doing or not doing, right? This is where we get into the action part. Like if I'm watching you, right, through like a little telescope, and I see you walking around in the world, what are you doing? What are you not doing? How are you actually spending your time, right? How does that look different than what you're probably doing right now? And then from that place, decide, make one firm decision of what you will do today. You can pick one thing. I tend to pick like 3 things Um, but don't be like me, just stick to one action that you will take today to create that result for you. Okay, I want to hear how this goes. I want to know if you have any questions about what I just taught you. Go ahead and put it in the comments. If you're catching this somewhere else other than my private Facebook group, you feel free to put it in the comments wherever you see it. I will double check that. But I also do want to invite you into my private Facebook community, and there will be a link somewhere, wherever you're catching this, where you can access that. Okay. Um, I am so excited for you to implement this for yourself, for you to see the transformative effect that it has on your psyche when you take yourself through the steps of going and cleaning out what's actually running around in your brain, what you're actually believing, and you get to the place where you can believe something different, what you want to believe, right? This is like intentionally choosing what you want to believe to create the desired results. And getting yourself to that place where it's possible for you so you actually take the action, but from a place of like excitement, joy, love, service, not whipping yourself. Because I know how to do that, you know how to do that, and let's just put an end to it because it's not very helpful. It works for a little bit, but then we get tired of whipping ourselves and we're like, oh, we need a break, right? And I just want you to feel energized to take action in your business, to actually step into being the coach who is not only certified and feels confident in their coaching abilities, but actually has people paying them to help them get these results. And it starts with you becoming that person, you taking the time to coach yourself into action, you taking the time to make firm decisions that you will become that person and moving towards that. And the first step to becoming that person is definitely booking a call and understanding how we work together to get you there even faster. You don't have to struggle and do this the long, hard way. You can have someone who's been there before, who's done it multiple times, who's helped other clients do it and achieve stellar results. You can be like my client, one of my newest clients, Deshaun, is killing it, already doubled his almost doubled his investment. And we've just started, we're in 1 month in already because we've worked on the things that were getting in the way of him having these results. And just made one change. Out of one change so far, this is the result. Okay. And I know that that's possible for you. I've seen all my other clients succeed in this process, and I know that you can do it too. Okay. So I'm happy to help you. Go ahead and send me a private message, and I will send you a link where you can book a call. We will meet via Zoom for an hour and just really dive deep into what thoughts are actually running around in your brain that you haven't looked at. Because I'm sure that there's a lot, right? And how I could support you in taking that next step, in having your own business, in helping other people, in transforming their lives and transforming your own life in the process. I cannot wait to talk to you. Go ahead and send me a message and we will get that all linked up. If you have any questions about anything that I taught, go ahead and put it here in the comments or shoot me a private email at jen@livingoutgoals.com. Okay, friends, bye.